Hey, Fang Gang! Hope everyone's doing good. Today, we are continuing with the life and suffering of Sir Brante as our career and family life falls down around us, crashing and burning, with no survivors. Hey, Grant, hope you're having a good night. Let's see here. So it looks like we have about 4 years left. Although, it's possible the court case against Otten is going to be cut off before then. But I'm hoping I have the rest of this time to get it done, because I still need some justice points. My career is at 0. Where's my occupation? My career is in ruins. But I challenged the mafia boss, who's it, to a duel, and I won, because I'm just that violent. So, I'm not sure if it matters that my career is in ruins anymore. But we need to get to 6, I think? Hold on, I can see it. Where is it? Chapter outcomes on his sentence. Justice 8 or 9. Okay, so I need to get justice up to 8. Not 6. Justice to 8. So I need 5 more justice. Boy, this is gonna be a rough one. They're gonna be real rough. I think it matters that my career's in 0, because I assume for a lot of decisions I'm going to have a career point to spend for justice. But I don't know. If I go to to positive career and then back to 0, is it gonna cut me off then? I don't know. We're in strange and uncharted territories. We're just trying to survive at this point, man. It's rough out here. Rough out here at Anazote. But now for threats and promises. You are in the middle of ascending the City Hall's long, curved marble staircase, a small man beneath the building's towering vaults. You were suddenly visited that night by messengers from Magistrate L. Vermin. They insisted the reason was most urgent. You are already expected upstairs. Did he summon me for another meeting that could have been a message or a letter? Is he doing this again? He better not just talk at me for like half a minute and then dismiss me. There is deafening silence in the lavishly decorated corridors. Your footsteps, the only noise you can hear. Finally, you enter the spacious room that is the office of El Vermin, a stately official of considerable age. You find him sitting in his comfortable chair of carved wood. He acknowledges your presence with a nod. However, the magistrate is not alone. By the window of the office stands a tall Archnean. The cape of the Imperial Legion covers his shoulders. He is Dorius Otten, the commander of Magra in the flesh. He does not even bother to turn around and look at you. The magistrate gestures to you formally, beckoning you closer. What are you gonna do to me? My career is already in ruins. Can I challenge you to a duel too? Judge Brante, you have come at last. Sir Otten has been eagerly awaiting your arrival. You see, the commander has learned about a litigation being prepared against him at the prefecture. He demanded that an end be put at these machinations at once, and I humbly offered him my assistance. Slowly, Otten turns to face you. He eyes you with cold contempt. Brante, you again. So you've been chosen to oversee the so-called case against me. I don't envy you. I will be brief. I will not stand idly by in the face of slander and baseless accusations. Give me your word of honor as a nobleman that you'll do everything in your power to put a stop to this litigation. Only then will you be free to leave. Or what? I will treat any other answer as an insult against my noble lineage. Let it be known that Sir L. Vermin holds many positions, such as the chairman's seat at the Court of Honor, which means that any insult will be soon followed by a legitimate duel of honor. I'm sure you know full well how others have fared in duels against me. Don't threaten me with a good time. Do not threaten me with a good time. I will jump at it. I will jump at it. I will jump at the opportunity to duel him, even if it costs me justice. I crave violence so bad. I will gladly duel Auten just to fuck him. Even if it means I can't do the court case against him. Auten turns toward the window before you say anything. As if your answer has already been heard. Magistrate L. Vermin watches Auten and you silently with a mysterious smirk. You stand before the two lords of the city, a young man only recently ennobled by the mantle. Any word that leaves your lips now will affect your fate. Uh-huh. A death? But I'm at max violence. What do you mean a death? I'm at max violence. What do you mean? What's this then? I have to have not negative with Dorius. You mollify the outraged Archnean, assuring him that the case poses no threat to him whatsoever. That would have been cool to have. That's definitely a Machiavellian route, which, not me. I'm just built too different. I'm craving the violence too bad. I'm actually regretting earlier in this chapter when I got Auten's evidence myself, because that cost me a death that I could have used now. Which is unfortunate. I could have burned Tommy for that, and Tommy probably would have died. Yeah. Thinking back on it, I'd still probably do the same thing again just to keep Tommy alive. You stand your ground against the Archnean's threats and force him to back down. I don't want a game over here. The magistrate favors you for your past achievements. You call in this favor in exchange for his protection. Huh. So you have to have, probably, I'm assuming it's his patronage, but also positive influence with him. That's interesting. Give on your word. I mean, our career can't go any lower. You swear an oath to the Archnean. You will do everything you can to keep this case from progressing. And it'll set us back at justice, which means we need to get to 8, which means we'll then need 6 justice to make it happen. It's increasingly looking like our boss's pet project just isn't gonna pan out. If I wasn't capped out on deaths, I would retaliate. But having maxed out violence stat just isn't enough against Auten, I guess. Which is unfortunate. Oh, that would have given us a reputation too. Damn. Damn. We really can only give him our word. I mean, our career can't get any worse, so fuck it. Defying Auten's will now means facing true death by his sword, and your family will be left to suffer next. You are not ready to make this sacrifice. You have no choice but to submit to the Archnean's will and do as the twins have willed. I mean, we're lying. We're still gonna pursue the case, because fuck him in particular. And so you bow to the commander of Magra. Indeed, you confess this case was entrusted to you, but you honor the sacred order whereby the noble Archnean dynasties stand above all else. You will never dare to dispute an Archnean's right to duel anyone who has insulted his honor. We're missing a E there. The case is unjust and unfounded, and you will do everything you can to prevent it from going to trial, I said lyingly. No, I don't, Ike. No, I don't. You give him your word as a nobleman. Aten does not turn around. He is focused on the view on the silver tree from the window before him, but he nods slowly in approval of your words. Much better, Brante. You ought to have refused the case at the very beginning. Blindly doing your prefect's bidding is already a stain on your family's reputation. At least now you realize your error. Pray to the twins I never hear a word of this so-called case ever again. Farewell. Aten quickly walks out of the magistrate's office. Once his cape has disappeared down the long corridor, El Vermin turns to you and sighs heavily. Aten is right, Brante. You should have refused this case when you could. Don't ruin— too late. Don't ruin your career, he said as if it's not already ruined. For the prefect's convenience, don't let an Archnean be summoned to court and heed the words of the commander. Believe me, he will know how you conduct this case. Good night, Judge. You leave the city hall with a heavy heart. You gave Aten your word. Will you be able to keep it? Sir Elborny wants Aten's case to progress, and so it will, no matter what you do. Aten's sword will continue to loom over you until his case comes to an end. Uh-oh. I think we're about to have an event. We're about to have an event. Or did I already have this one? Aten's case still looms over you, a burden and a threat. As the strife between the states grows more bitter, the judge's trade grows tougher by the day. The commoners demand more rights and legal protections. The nobles do their best to push back. As things stand right now, any verdict made in court may result in upheaval in the province, and possibly determine the outcome of your case against Aten. One day, in a park by the Falaise estate favored by dueling Anizote nobles, you see a curly-haired young man lying prone in the small sunlit square. His body has been pierced by a sword, and has not vanished. A true death. You are here to investigate a report of an illegal duel. The winner is still here, a slender, middle-aged noble in an elegant black jacket, his hand still on the hilt of his sword, surrounded by gendarmes. Your orders, Your Honor. So Corvio would not submit on his own, and we wouldn't dare use force against him. You sign for the gendarmes to lower their weapons and approach the duelist. El Corvio's eyes widen, and his face comes to life when he notices you. Before you can ask him, the nobleman begins to speak, far louder than necessary. Look at this dude. It was a duel sanctioned by the Court of Honor. That is all. The late Sir El Est questioned my loyalty to the Emperor and called me an apostate. He left me no other choice but to defend my honor. And now he's dead. Please be quick with your verdict, Sir Judge. I'm expected at the capital. You do know who I am, don't you? I don't, in fact. I don't really care. He is a nobleman hailing from a renowned bloodline in Eterna. Used to be captain of the Emperor's personal guard. Used to be, so he got fired. Skill issue. Before you can say a single word, a carriage bearing the crest of Magistrate El Vermin rolls the gates. The magistrate furrows his silvery brow as he looks at the sorrowful scene, then gestures politely for El Corvio to approach his carriage. With a chuckle, the duelist walks through the line of gendarmes and leans on the carriage. Meanwhile, the magistrate takes you aside for a moment. 1 second. Yep. There we go. Brante, as you know, I'm chairman of the city's Court of Honor. I refused to sanction this duel for as long as I could, since true death was on the line. But Alan El Corvio insisted that denying him would spell trouble for the city of Anizote. Regrettably, he is a small yet important person in the Emperor's court. He used to command the Emperor's personal guard. Why is El Vermin only now making appearances? Seems like we should have been meeting him before. I realize that you must mete out justice as your duty demands, but remember, duels of honor are one of the cornerstones of Imperial tradition. one of the pillars that support the twins' divine vision for the Empire. You have the authority to punish El Corvio, but be careful. He might make a dangerous enemy for both yourself and for all the nobles of Anazote. That fool S didn't know this, and now he's lying there before us. It would be wise not to repeat his mistake. The magistrate of Anazote glances around, then continues in a hushed tone. Oh, he's older? Uh-huh. I guess he just retired then. Brante, this situation is far from ordinary. The fate of your city means anything to you. It would be best to let El Corvio go without a trial. Anazote doesn't need any trouble from the capital, and the LS are not as strong as they used to be. They'll get through it. You may find him if you wish. El Corvio will pay to move on, and justice will be done, at least to some extent. However, if you can defuse the matter entirely, you'll earn favor with all the aristocracy of Anazote, and I'll personally see to it you get a swift promotion. Uh-huh. Deep in thought, you gaze upon the body of the dead duelist in the long shadow of El Corvio. The decision you're about to make could influence all future deals in the province, as well as your own standing. Fine, El Corvio. A semblance of justice for -1 justice, +1 career. So, not really what we want. Sentence him. Your elite patronage allows you to have the murderer prosecuted to the fullest extent of the law. Ooh, we get a wealth from that. And a justice. I'm not really well, we can just take all the minus careers we want at this point. Because we're already at 0, so fuck it. Huh. Oh! We've grown close to her, so that counts as patronage sometimes. Some of the time. Not all the time, just sometimes. When it's convenient to her. Mostly. Legalized duels. El Corvio's right to the duel will be acknowledged as lawful. We can't do that because our career is in the shitter. Yup, can't do that. Gives us the destiny of patronage. A little bit late for that, isn't it? That would give us +2 career. So that's the schmoozin' nobleman route, where we're full asshole. Pronounce the Court of Honor illegal. You ban meetings of the Court of Honor itself to prevent any such duels in the future. We can't do that because justice is way too damn low. Also, our diplomacy is too damn low. That would have put us on the Destiny for Court of Honor band. Damn. And this would have been the perfect chance to tank that -2 career as well. It's also a -1 reputation on family, which sucks. But I think this is a pretty good runner-up, because this also gives our family a +1 wealth, making up for the incident yesterday. But also gives us a justice, puts us back in the positive. Okay. Sends him to capital punishment. Fuck it. You shake your head dispassionately, enunciating every word with perfect precision. You explain the situation to El Vermin. A murder in a duel is still a murder, and the punishment for murder is execution. You do not have the right to distort the law. Are we still doomed? I'm not sure anymore. I honestly don't know if we're doomed or not. I think at this point we're just going to get a mediocre end for this chapter, because my faith in our ability to get enough justice points to see the court case go through is increasingly low. So I think we're just going to end up with a mediocre end for this chapter, and then we'll limp into the last chapter. So we might not be doomed anymore, because nothing, well, I mean, something drastic did happen when our career hit 0, but we were able to violence our way out of it, so. The magistrate's face falls in surprise. Also, hey Ace, hope you're having a good night. Brante, you don't seem to realize how the world works. I just told you El Corvio plays an important role in the Emperor's court. Are you really so eager to make enemies? We already got enemies, bro. We are about to. No connections will protect you if you're so intent on trampling ancient noble traditions. It seems Vermin is not aware that you have friends in very high places. You tell him in turn, the Archduke's family will readily side with me for some reason. An always makes it to the last act. That sucks. At least, well, maybe that'll give us a better chance to kill him in the end then. The magistrate dashes to El Corvio, fuming with rage at your words. Sir El Corvio, this is a terrible misunderstanding. I'll do everything I can to right this wrong. These good sirs mean to have you arrested. You give the gendarmes a firm order. Seize the murderer's sword, shackle him, and take him to the prefecture. You dare call me a murderer! Doesn't anyone in your filthy, decrepit province know the meaning of a duel? I know the meaning of a duel. They're awesome. But I can use it against you, so fuck it. El Corvio draws his sword and assumes a defensive stance. Startling the gendarmes with just a fervent refusal to comply. You start giving commands to the gendarmes. Following your orders, they manage to surround and disarm El Corvio. You head for the prefecture to take care of the paperwork and send a message to Octavia. And I take a sip of tea. You ask your powerful benefactress to convince the aristocracy to side with you in ordering the death penalty for El Corvio. He isn't a complete outsider in Magra, you write, who happened to murder the heir to the ancient bloodline of El Est, or El Esti. Surely Octavia can aid her humble servant in such a trifling matter. Her reply takes almost no time to arrive. We're a hypocrite, but we don't deny it, okay? There's a difference between a hypocrite in denial and a hypocrite who acknowledges it, okay? Look. Duels for me, but not for thee. That's the basis of the law here, and I'm gonna stick by it. It's a good rule. El Corvio is a staunch follower of the Tempest and the new Overseer. This puts him at great odds with my father. Removing him will be easy, especially if you have a proper case against him. Rest assured power lines. That's me. The Melanitis dynasty will side with you in this trial. As for the other nobles, have no fear. I will let no harm come to you, my dearest human. El Corvio's trial comes and goes incredibly quickly. The seats in the courtroom are absolutely empty. No noble risks appearing in defense of the visitor from Eterna and attracting the displeasure of Archduke Melanitis. One by one, you present evidence of El Corvio's guilt. The ill-fated noble visitor coldly spits out threats in return. The Board of Justice, presided over by El Bone, makes its final judgment. Sending a noble to the hereafter is never easy, but there are times when the court has no other way to instill respect for imperial law among those of the noble estate. So, El Corvio, we hereby sentence you to true death by decapitation. The sentence will be carried out in Majesty Square tomorrow. El Corvio is silent, unwilling to believe in what has just happened. But the verdict has been made. El Corvio is taken to the dungeon, the shackles still on his wrists. Tomorrow, the city of Anazote will, for the first time, witness a noble being executed for a duel. The aristocracy of Anazote is indignant over your decision. They fear what might come next. And yet El Corvio's shameful end on the executioner's block goes seemingly unnoticed in the capital. Soon, rumors begin to spread. Some say the beheaded nobleman was indeed a traitor to the crown. Why else would the emperor's court ignore the beheading entirely? Or was it all the handiwork of Archduke Melanitis himself? Did he actually deserve this? Was the guy he killed in the duel innocent? No, he didn't deserve this, and no, the guy probably wasn't innocent. So, also, most of your guaranteed deaths at this act are a result of being outnumbered or surprised. Yeah. Because that happened to me when I was getting the evidence against Otten. I got ambushed by a gang. It wasn't pretty. Soon after the execution, something arrives on your doorstep. A small, yet hefty chest with a note attached. Sir Brante, we realize how difficult it must have been for you to deliver this strict, yet righteous verdict. We mourn the loss of our son, who transgressed against the law forbidding all duels. Yet justice has found his murderer thanks to you. Please accept this humble gift as a token of our gratitude. Sir Constance L. Este and Lady Margaret L. Este. Alright. We got our justice above that breakpoint. We're not lawless anymore. Oh, he accused him of apostasy. So no, no one was innocent. Everyone was guilty. And everyone died. So justice was served. I might have gone down in justice again, yes. I didn't have a choice. Look, I didn't have a choice, okay? Yeah, I had to take a hit on justice. I'm doing my best, man. It's rough in Anazote. But hey, we got money. Yay, we got money. That makes it fine, right? The hunt for Thomas. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Nothing's wrong with me. It's what's wrong with the world. I'm not built different. I'm built right. It's the world that's built wrong. Man, I just crave violence. I'm being stuck as a judge. I should have been a preacher. They get to do the violence. Could have been an inquisitor. Done violence on witches. You are shaving before going to work. You scoop up some warm water from the wash basin. The morning light reflected in the mirror is blinding. A servant rushes in with an urgent letter, or rather, a crumpled note. He says it's from a childhood friend of yours. You flinch involuntarily. A nasty cut appears on your cheek. Ow, my cheek. Power Lines, it's me. I'm in trouble. Otten knows that I helped you. Now he's finally decided to get rid of me. His henchmen are on my trail already. They'll find me no matter how well I hide. I'm out of time, Brante. If you can, for the sake of our old friendship, help me out of this mess. Somehow. Whoa. If Otten finds me, I'll be off to the Shining Pillar. I'm all out of lives. Your friend, Tommy. Dude. We got the BFF bracelet. We're there for Tommy. You crush the note in your hands. A drop of blood runs down your cheek. Your old friend is in danger because he helped you with the case against Otten. If you don't interfere, Thomas Herrero is doomed. Don't get involved, no. Protect Tommy. You and me. Oh. That'll kill us. Oh, fuck. Shit. Ah! God, I am regretting some past decisions. Oh, fuck. This is the perfect opportunity to do this because our career is already at 0. We could have done this. Oh, fuck. Now I know that Borny really wasn't lying when he said to just ignore your career and focus on justice, because you can tank all the justice points. Oh man, I hate this. We gotta resign Tommy to death? I love Tommy, but not enough to die for him. Look, man, I already died once for Tommy, kind of, indirectly. Not really, but I already died once in his storyline, okay? I can't float a second death. Ah, man. Yeah, there's no way we can do this, because that's a game over. We love Tommy, but we love ourselves more. Yes, that is a correct assessment. Well, if I save scum, I have to redo the entire chapter over. Which I guess is an option. How do we feel about that? I could die protecting Tommy. BFFs forever, ride or die. That's game over, and next week we start back here, because over the weekend I can restart this chapter and get us back to this point. So as far as this, I don't know if you'd really call this a Let's Play, but as far as the streams will be concerned, like, we won't really miss a beat. I'll just save scum and get us back to this point for next week. Go back and get perception. I mean, actually, that's a good point. I don't know if it'll let me go back once I get a true death or not. So I may end up, if we do ride or die for Tommy, or sorry, ride and die for Tommy. If we do ride and die for Tommy, then it is possible that I have to redo the run from the beginning, which isn't the end of the world. Because I love this game and I can just hammer that out over the weekend or whatever. And I'll have fun doing it. Are we okay with that, Fang Gang? Riding and dying for Tommy? To get a true death? Because we crave violence? Well, when you say let it ride, do you mean let it ride to die for Tommy? Or let it ride to let Tommy die for us? It's a particular situation we got. Tommy died for a good cause, us. I mean, yes, we are a good cause. Well, okay, we're not a good cause, but we're a cause. I'm not sure what kind of cause we are, but we're a cause. Actually, the more I think about it, the more I talk it out, the more I'm okay with riding and dying for Tommy. Just to get the true death. To die for our bro. I think that's a decent true death. And then we can resume this. Or pick this back up. Okay, send it, send it! We live as we die. Wait, we die as we live, craving violence. Yeah, we can also blitz the pages. Yeah, because they'll go a lot faster, not having to. Whatever. What do you mean I don't have to prioritize Valor? What do you mean? It doesn't matter that I have the violence stat maxed out, I can always use more. You failed to protect Tommy from On's revenge last time. You would not fail him again. You crumple up the note, pick up your sword, and rush to help your friend. You know where Tommy has been trying to hide recently? The ruined palace of Charmelanitis, where you used to play as children. You get there just in time. You hear a familiar voice coming from the ruins of an ancient bathhouse. Quit hiding, you bastards! You won't take me down without spilling some blood of your own! Also knowing to F glory... yeah. Also, yes. I have so much hindsight if we go back. For both knowing that it's okay to take my career for justice, and also to just fuck Gloria. Because she is so much dead weight. Like, we joked early on about Lydia being the sinking ship. No, it was Gloria all along. It turns out Lydia was the lifeboat. And Gloria was dragging Mom down with her. You made some sacrifices for valor when it was costly. Yeah, but I have nothing. Look, I just really wanted the violence stat. Do we keep the blue girlfriend? No, yeah, we keep the blue girlfriend. Yeah. Look, I'm okay with Octavia. She is legitimately the only tolerable romance option in the game so far. What about Stefan's faith? I don't think Faith has ever come up with Stefan. it came up with Nate. Do you mean Nate when we told him the gods don't love him? I think that was before he went to college, wasn't it? That was the end of adolescence, I think. Anyways, you follow the cry. In the middle of the old bathhouse, you see Tommy, dirty, his hair overgrown, a sword clutched in his hand. 5 men, inconspicuously dressed in coarse clothing and wielding various weapons, are slowly closing in on him. They all freeze, stunned by your unexpected appearance. Yeah, Nate. Look, I can't blame you for forgetting who he is because Nate just kind of blends into the background. Neither seen nor heard. If you get Max Uni, Gloria legit ruins any noble ambitions. Yeah, I believe that. I believe that. She is just the worst. There's no winning with Gloria. I bet even if you go full revolutionary, Gloria is still the worst and fucks it up somehow. What took you so long, Brante? I was shaving. Dude, I was shaving. What do you want from me? You hear intense joy in his voice. You rush to Tommy's side, back to back. You start the fight. Violence! Wahoo! You are more skilled than On's henchmen, but they outnumber you. You do not let them surround you, but the fight is still a tough one. You succeed in wounding one of the enemies in the leg and force him to drop out of the battle. But another huge bruiser swinging a club wildly, and all you can do is dodge. You are quickly becoming exhausted. Tommy keeps pace with you. He performs a masterful counterattack against one of the enemies and skewers him with a sword. Unfortunately, his weapon becomes stuck in the enemy's body. You will not be able to dodge the other assailant. With a swift turn, you put yourself in the line of fire and catch the blade with your glove. You steer the tip away from Tommy, then run your sword through the thug's stomach with a quick thrust. I don't want to know. I don't want to know. The less I know about Gloria, the better. But your triumph is short-lived. You momentarily lose track of the big fellow, and he lands a heavy blow on your back. Your ribs crack. You're thrown several feet away. The thugs swing the bloodied club again, but Tommy hurries to help you. Die, you bastard! Wahoo! Everything turns red. You lie motionless and listen as the fight continues until several shrieks of agony announce that it is over. Tommy leans over you. An incongruous smile flickers across his face. Hey, Brante. I just asked you to help, not to die in my place. I don't think Thomas knows this is her last life. Oh, fuck. I think we just fucked him up for life. He doesn't know. It's gonna be too late. Bro is about to have a moment. I did it my way. I love that song. I've been listening to so much Frank Sinatra lately. Your old friend's stupid joke is the last thing you hear. Tommy's face, and the rest of the world dissolves in a white light. Ellipses. Oh boy. The 4th death. This was your 4th and final death. You had spent all the time allotted to you by the gods. As you soar towards the shining pillar, you take one last glance down. You see thin, shimmering lines running along the ground. You observe the human fates with which your earthly life was connected. Fates that will now continue their course without you. Oh boy. It's interesting that accept true death is a separate thing. I wonder what that means. I'm guessing accept true death has something to do with the religious route. That's my best guess. Your earthly life is over, you leave the world forever and face the judgment of the twins. Uh-oh.
Neither side could overcome the other.
Jesus
the fire
Christ.
of the revolt could not be extinguished. The province, and then the whole empire, fell on troubled times.
Wahoo! Outcome of the revolt. For years after your death, Anizote continued to simmer like a cookpot over a slow flame. The powerlessness of the simple folk, unable to change the old order, gradually gave way to rage, no doubt encouraged by Gloria, the most terrible person in all of Anizote. Finally, this anger became stronger than their age-old submission to the higher estate and their fear of divine retribution. This rage was the spark that lit the fire of the revolt. The rebels took up arms and seized the city for themselves, led from the shadows by the last straw. When the moment of truth came, there was no soul in Anizote strong-willed enough to spearhead the raging revolt. The opposing factions soon reached a stalemate, which neither side could prevail completely. Anizote refused to surrender, but after a prolonged siege, Gaius Tempest finally broke the city's defenses, and the Legion entered the rebellious city of Anizote. The insurgents fled, the mobs disappeared from the squares and streets, the leaders of the revolt were hanged. But the city's capture made even more trouble for the Overseer. The unrest was beaten down, but not suppressed completely. New riots followed one by one as the common folk, the new faith priests, and many nobles of the mantle continued to wage a desperate struggle against the old authorities. Gaius Tempest responded to the seething rebellion with more executions and threats, but dissent continued to grow. As the unrest in the city smoldered, the rest of the empire eventually caught wind of the Anizote revolt. Nearby Magran towns and villages saw their first riot soon after. Chaos began to spread across the empire. The empire responded to this enduring turmoil with ruthless action. But even after several villages and towns were drowned in blood, the riots only intensified. The dominance of the emperor and his dynasty began to wane. Power struggles broke out between the powerful nobles in the capital. Then, a shocking event shook the empire to the core. Emperor Uther II was found dead in his palace, never to be reborn. His heirs, Yerian and Flavius, both disappeared without a trace. With no one to take the throne, the noble dynasties accused one another of plotting against the Tempest's rule. Feuds and internecine strife became commonplace. And so began an age of anarchy, a time of massacre and riots, conflict and bloodshed, chaos and unrest. There were no winners in this role of all against all, only survivors. The empire entered a dark and terrible age. Wahoo! What became of you? You have made your last and most important choice. Was your death worth it? Could you have chosen a different path? Either way, there is no going back. Your fate is sealed. There is no returning from the hereafter. And so you bid farewell to your mortal life. Everything you fought for, everything you strove for, all that is behind you now. You are on your way to the shining pillar to await the judgment of the twins. You can no longer change the world's destiny, but the choices you made and the deeds you did have left an indelible mark. The world will remember the life and suffering of Powerline's Brante. That's me. The Age of Wahoo. Legit. Whoa. The hour of your death has come. Your soul has left your body, never to return. You are taken to the peak of the shining pillar. Every moment separates you more and more from the mortal realm. The link that once bound you to it is gone forever. You look up to see two divine visages watching you intently. The elder twin gazes upon you full of sorrow and compassion. The younger examines you dispassionately, seeing your every act and thought. You have ascended from the mortal realm. From here, you are but one step away from partaking in eternal bliss atop the peak of the shining pillar. But first, you must be judged by them, just as every other soul born in this world has been judged since time immemorial. Only their judgment can decide whether you deserve to remain atop the peak or be hurled down to the foot. You stand before the twins. Your very essence is laid bare before them, all the secrets of your inner self revealed in full. Your soul is like an open book to them, one that preserves the story of your entire life. You lie prostrate before the gods. The time has come to take responsibility for your mortal life. And the elder twin asks, are you thankful to the gods for the life you have lived? So you spent half of your life trying to undermine us. Half? What do you mean half? All of it. I just stopped getting opportunities. I'm thankful. Your soul is filled with love for those who created you and gave you the gift of life. No. You're glad it's over. Fuck that. Your life was agony. You're happy to end that mortal existence and leave it behind. Nah. That sounds like Nate. That's the Nate option. You refuse to submit to them. You feel no gratitude whatsoever to your creators, because they're not my creators, the shadow is. Your mortal life was yours, and yours alone. You despise them. Being a noble didn't make me complicit. It made me apathetic. There's a difference. And the difference is, I said so. You despise them. You hate the world the twins created, as well as their entire mortal life. I didn't hate my life in Brante. I was pretty happy with it, actually. You regret it. You regret how you squandered the twins' given gift of mortal life. No, not really. You are calm. I had mistakes, not regrets. You are calm. You staunchly accept everything that happened to you in the world the twins created. Your life was your life. I'm either calm or I refuse to submit. I died craving violence, so I go to the afterlife craving violence. They hear your answer. Compassion and remorse fill the immeasurably deep eyes of the elder twin. He turns to face his divine brother, who returns his gaze with an expression of stern remorse. The elder twin asks you once more, what was your life to you? Huh. Struggle? Your life was a struggle for your beliefs. Kind of. Actually. Kind of. Because I always believed that they were false gods. And even if I'd never really had any opportunities to fight against them, I still didn't believe in them as a judge. Suffering. You spent your life staunchly enduring despair, hardship, and grief. Not really. I mean, look. When Granddad caves her skull in at age 5, we stopped really giving a shit about the hardship of it all. That's a bit of a learning experience that puts the rest of your life into perspective, huh? Toil. You spent your life diligently doing your duty. No, he didn't. No, he didn't. Struggle is somewhat close to violence. Also, yes. Enlightenment. Your life was focused on learning about the world and its truth. Not really. Because I already knew the truth the moment I was born, that they were false gods. Service. Your life was spent in service to others. No. Because this was all about seizing my own destiny and making it myself. Creation. In your life, you created something new. Something the world had never seen before. No? No? I'm guessing that has something to do with another route. I'm not sure what that could be, but no. Empathy. Your life was dedicated to other people and your relationships with them. You changed them, and they changed you. Who did I change? Maybe... Did I change Nate, or was he always destined to be a burnout bum? I'm not convinced that if I told him that the gods love him, that anything would have changed, honestly. I feel like Nate's just doomed to be a burnout. For no apparent reason other than mom's postpartum. Did I change Tommy? Did I? I saved his life. That's about it. But does saving a life change him? I changed... Actually, yeah, that's a good point. I changed Octavia. Yeah, I did change Octavia. Okay, fair enough. Okay, so yes, I did change Octavia. And arguably my life as Powerline's Brante was spent dedicated to other people and my relationships with them. However, I feel like more than that, it's always been a struggle for my belief that they're the false gods. And I'm built different, and I crave violence. And in death, I crave violence as I have lived. The elder twin bows his head warily, considering your response. But the stern visage of the younger already looms above you. Human by the name of Brante, what did you live for? Principles, maybe. There's nothing more important than living by your beliefs. Clearly not, because my beliefs are whatever was most convenient to me at the moment. Every now and then I'd have a conviction I would stick with, but no, not really. My principle was mostly I hate Sophia and I hate Gloria. And I hate the gods. That's about it. Freedom. You live for the sake of freedom, both for yourself and for others. Kinda, sorta, not really. You sought to shape the world and bend it to your will. I did die for violence, it's true. Low-key, yeah. Yeah, kind of. Power. Kinda. Other people. You live to make other people's lives better. Except for the Nate incident, where I told him the gods don't love him. I pretty regularly tried to at least not make things worse for everyone around me. Even to Gloria, until I realized like halfway through the peacetime chapter that there's just no hope for her. So, yes, but that's not what I lived for. Faith. You strove to gain a better understanding of the twins and find your own path to them, no. I was looking for a path away from them. Happiness. More than anything else, you wanted to find happiness and joy for yourself, your family, and those around you. Isn't that the same as other people? Other people and happiness seem like the same. Right? So, a cause. You yearn to do a great deed that would outlive you, like casting down the false gods. Kind of. That's kind of speaking to me. So I sought to shape the world and bend it to my will, or yearn to do a great deed that would outlive you. I was pretty ride or die for Stefan's goal for making us El Brante, until I had to ride or die for Tommy. And What is a bigger deed to outlive you than the legacy of your family, which would have given us the L, the good L, not the bad L, of making us proper nobles? So, yeah, I'd say a cause. And also for casting down the false gods. But also because of the family stuff. Except for Gloria. Redoing the run for next week, I will have 0 chill for Gloria. 0. The younger's gaze lingers on your bare, defenseless soul. The divine figure continues its stern interrogation. What did you leave behind? Change. You blaze a trail for change that will long outlive you. No. Unfortunately, I was trying to. Both in my career and the family, and casting down the gods, but I fell short. Didn't work out. Order. You brought orders. I brought disorder and I made everything worse. No. It's a good laugh. You're a funny guy, God, but no. Doctrine. You believe in something and it changed the world? I mean, it made it worse, but it did change the world. So, kind of, but no. Home. You provided for your family and bloodline and gave it a future. We wanted to. We did our best to at least set up Stefan to make his plan work. So kind of, but we fell short on that. Legacy. You have become an important part of the history of the Empire. I'm not convinced. I think that was just a platitude that that end monologue gave us. That people would remember us. I don't think so. Going out how we did, without being able to make our court case stick, ending up like with both our career in the justice and the shitter. Yeah, unfortunately, no. Achievement. Your achievements will live on. What achievement? The achievement of nailing Octavia? That's about it. The time we caught the whip like a badass. That was an achievement. He left no mark in the mortal realm. Kinda, honestly. Yeah. We were built different. We were God's most powerful babe, but it all kinda went wrong, didn't it? Yeah. Sadly. Yeah. Nothing. Yeah, nothing's my honest answer. The younger the younger twin now moves toward you with clear intent, poised to render his judgment. But the elder twin restrains his brother with a gesture. A divine voice fills you once again. Did your life make the world we made better and more perfect? About that. It became better. Through your will, you managed to influence and improve the mortal world. Well... we kind of low-key indirectly maybe caused a dark age. But... arguably, in the long run, it's better for the world that the Arcanian Empire falls and fractures. But that's beyond the scope of what we're presented. That's only conjecture, so... It became worse. He left the mortal world a far more terrible place than it was before. Kinda. Yeah. It cannot be changed. No mortal can ever improve the world. Only the twins have this power. No, fuck that. Did we cause the Dark Age? It's implied. It's implied. Because the message that I got was that if we're not there to hold shit together, then everything falls apart. It did not become better. You failed to change the fate of the world for the better. I did fail. Yeah. So this is true. It became worse. I don't know if I would... It did become worse, but this speaks more truth to me that we failed to change the fate rather than leaving it as a far more terrible. I think us failing is more honest to the situation at hand. Or you do not know. That is not for you to judge. Arguably, yes, but not because it's for the gods to judge. Because it's for future generations to judge. So, if I'm being completely honest, I do not know is my answer. However, I'm not going to select it because I think that they're going to take it as me saying it's only for the gods to judge, which I do not think. So because of that, I'm going to say it did not become better because I failed to change the fate of the world. The younger twin is silent, his eyes two swords, piercing your soul. The elder twin speaks to you again. But you already know the question. The very same question that caused you so much suffering shortly before your true and final death. What determined your destiny? I did. Your life has always been yours to live. You made your own destiny, yes. The world around you, your path was charted for you by the people, the age, and society in which you lived. Kind of. But it was more than that, a failure on my part to pick a lane and stick to it. Because I was trying to play both sides of too many sides for too long. Both trying to hold it together with Gloria and also trying to balance career and judgment. So, even though the world was a factor, it's ultimately because I failed to run the ship right. A higher power, no. Well, the shadow? But it's going to take that as being the twins, so no. No one! Destiny does not exist. Human life is an exercise in chance. It is not governed by any laws. So no one or yourself. I'm gonna go with myself. Because that was how I began the game, and every time I died. That we make our own destiny. Although the no one is also speaks to me a little. The twin gods exchange a glance that lasts a brief moment, and all eternity. Then the hand of the elder twin reaches out to you, glowing with light and warmth. The gods offer you an unprecedented opportunity to change your destiny, to rewrite the book of your life. Wait, really? For realsies? Is that because that always happens, or because of my answers just now? I'm really curious about that. Would you like to take a different path in life? Yes. However, I'm gonna say no. because I want to see what happens, and we're already planning on getting a new run set up for next week to pick up where we left off. So the Elder's trying to learn forgiveness. The twins lack the concept of forgiveness. That would check out for a higher power, kind of, yeah. I wouldn't be surprised if that's the case. I still think they're false gods, but yeah. So we're gonna hit no. One, despite the false gods, because that would be acknowledging that they have the power of our destiny over us. Also, yeah, hold on. No, the answer is always going to be no to this, because saying yes to this acknowledges that they have sway over our destiny. So, this is a trick question. Those motherfuckers! These false gods and their goddamn perfidious tricks! No! Fuck you! You reject the hand of the Elder. The immense divine silhouette withdrawals and sorrow. Eat shit. Fuck you. The younger twin steps forward, leaving you to face his law alone. The twins' judgment is nearing its end. Sorry, I wahooed a little too hard there. No, they didn't let us control destiny. They're tricking us into giving them control over our destiny. You don't understand, Grattan. It's all a trick. The soul of a man named Brante lies prostrate at your feet. You have witnessed his entire life, known his every act, seen his every thought and desire. No other soul could ever walk the same path. So many difficult choices, so many emotions, so much pain. Another soul awaits your judgment. Judgment. You know no mercy, nor does your brother. Every mortal must walk the path chosen for him to the very end. Those who abide by the precepts set forth by you and your brother shall return to you and become a part of you. Those who reject you shall know the eternal suffering of oblivion. Where does the man named Paraline's Brante belong? Huh. Hold on, let me cook. I'm not psyoping the crap out of myself. Let me cook. So, this is really interesting and something I've been thinking about lately, is that there's no reality. Nothing is real. There's only our perception of reality, because an individual human is, in effect, a virtual machine. Because our consciousness is just interpreting what reality is. But it's all indirect, because we can't directly perceive whatever reality is. And it's possible that all humans are a subset of a larger consciousness. So, it's really interesting that the same kind of theory came up in this. Anyways, I'm done cooking. I got it from, I'm in the audiobook I'm in right now is My Big Toe, the first book of 3. It's interesting stuff. I don't look, every time I start taking what he's saying a little bit too seriously, I remind myself that he's selling what is it, binaural beats for hundreds of dollars on his website. So I make a point of not letting myself take it too seriously. However, it's interesting to think about. Anyways, the peak of the pillar, this man shall know eternal bliss. The foot of the pillar, this man shall be condemned to eternal suffering. This is really interesting that it gives us Well, hold on here. Let me cook. So, what this is saying is that all humans are actually just pseudo-independent subsets of the twins' consciousness, which I forget the name of the logical proof, but by whatever that means that in effect humans are the twinses, and the twinses are humans. So that's why we're judging ourselves, because this Brante is the twins and was all along. Right? So do the twins judge themselves as being worthy of eternal bliss, or do the twinses judge themselves as being condemned? I say the twins are not deserving of eternal bliss, and the false gods, the twins, deserve to be condemned to eternal suffering. How about that logic? The sword strikes! The blade mercilessly slices the minuscule soul in twain. It shatters into a multitude of sparks. Each of these sparks was once a dream, a deed, a thought, a hope. The sparks fly down to the foot of the shining pillar, to the eternal darkness of none being. The lonely light is slowly extinguished. No, it's not for power lines, because this is for the twins. Because it just told us that humanity is broken off parts of the twinses. So, really, the true way to end the tyranny of the false gods, the twinses, is to get a loop going on where they're constantly judging themselves as being unworthy and throwing their fragmented shards of themselves down into oblivion. And eventually, the twinses will be toast. Yeah. That's how we think on Team Wahoo. You gotta think big picture. Anyways, the man named Powerlines Brante, that was me, is no more. He has finally come to know true suffering. He has become nothing. Martin is kind of around his reason for nihilism. Yeah. We only met him that one time, then I was kind of cornered into, I think, condemning him to execution or whatever it was, but yeah. What a life! What a life! So yeah, going back to childhood, glorious secret? No, that's not gonna happen. No. From the moment we're born, Gloria is up shit creek, because I am having zero chill with her my entire life. Anyways. End life! Wahoo! Oh shit, I forgot my mini-me. My bad. Hold on, where's my mini-me? I gotta get my mini-me on. It's a little late. The stream is about to end, but I forgot my mini-me. Yeah, look at him! Look at my little guy! Team Wahoo! Anyways. I love this game. I love this game so much. This is like, it doesn't put me on the same kind of schizo rants that Slay the Princess did. But the story and characters are so much better and have more depth, except for Gloria in this game. And Sophia. And Lydia. And Nate. The characters, except for them, are so good. You're a book printer in your lotless run. Sounds lame. Who cares about book printers? What are we, Lutherans? Okay, enough of the credits. Okay, that's gonna be it for tonight. Tomorrow we're gonna play Doom 1993. We're starting episode 4, which is I don't know if it's like bonus levels or like an expansion pack that came out for the original Doom back in the day. I'm not sure. But it's the last batch of levels before we start Doom 2. I think Doom 2 came out in 1995. But Doom 2 probably next week. Well, depends on how long it takes me to get through all the levels in episode 4. Anyways, 1:40 a.m. Eastern tomorrow night for Doom 1993 episode 4. Something about flesh, or flesh shall be consumed, or something like that. Imagine how much damage one can do with one of those. Yeah. If you guys enjoyed this, like and subscribe, share with someone you think will like it. Also, I'm gonna repost the link to the voting poll thingy to decide on Mondays, the channel anniversary, on which auto-scroll game I'm gonna play for the channel anniversary, either Morrowind or Skyrim. Currently, Morrowind is winning, so I've been researching what mods to get to make it playable on modern computers. So yeah, I am looking forward to Doom tomorrow. Wahoo! We're gonna wahoo all over the demons. And then tomorrow is Wednesday. Thursday is Phasmo, with the start of the Phasmo Easter event. We're gonna do that. Friday is gonna be a Phasmo collab. Hopefully, maybe. I don't know. Everyone's kind of flaking out this week. We'll see. This weekend, no stream because I have to prepare for Monday's anniversary stream. Is that correct? Maybe. I don't know. I might sneak in a Doom stream this weekend because I just like playing Doom. It's so fun. Oblivion. No. I don't like Oblivion. It might be an unpopular take, but I always disliked Oblivion, specifically because of the level scaling, or difficulty scaling. That always bugged the hell out of me, way back when I played it on the Xbox. Anyways, hope the Fang Gang have a fantastic night. I'll see you all tomorrow. Take care, everyone. Wahoo!